Hey guys, I'm Matthew Goldsman, the host of GamersCast, and here we go again. Yet another review of another port of the exact same game. Here is my review of Sonic the Hedgehog for Xbox Live Arcade. Now let's think of this. How many times have you guys heard me review this? Let's count. You heard me do one of those classic Sega disc packages. You heard me do it for the Virtual Console. You heard me do it for the cell phone. Then you heard me do it for another classic edition mashup. Then you heard me do it again for the update to the cell phone version, and then the other version after that. And oh my god, how many times can I pretty much repeat the exact same stuff I've been saying for years now? Sonic the Hedgehog, it's a great game developed by Sega, originally for the Sega Genesis back in the early 90s, and it was such a great game that it rivaled Mario, right? But I've just said this stuff so many times, it's getting a bit repetitive to me. Yes, it's a great game, and I still love playing it. It's a platformer, though. It's a high-speed platformer that boosted boost processing back in the day, and it was really innovative. It was really great to have this stuff back then, and it still holds firm today. I mean, honestly, people love playing Sonic. Who doesn't? But now we have another port of it, and honestly, if you don't have the game already in any one of the ports I already said, or in the Game Boy Advance version, which I didn't pick up because I have every other version, then I don't know. But yeah, basically here's the plot. Eggman captured all the bunnies and animals and turned them into whatchamacallit robot things and stole the Chaos Emeralds, and yeah, we've heard all of this before, right? But what's different on the Xbox Live Arcade is there's an actual different interface to it. When you start, it's not the usual emulation. This time, it's like the emulation is within a container in the game. But there are a few things I want to point out with this version. I do not like this version compared to other versions. Why? The biggest reason for me is the controls. Well, they're not exactly advanced controls to learn or anything. It's just the feel of the Xbox 360 controller while playing this game. I mean, look at it. It's a fine controller for like this gen gaming, but for a classic game like Sonic, it doesn't feel right. It works just fine. It's just that the feel of the game isn't there. It's hard to explain. It's like playing Galaga with the D-pad. It's just not. It works, but it's just not the same as that usual joystick that everyone was accustomed to back when it hit the arcades back in the day. So that is my major complaint. It still works fine. It's not really much of a learning curve, and is not as big of an issue as it is for Galaga with the joystick, but it just doesn't feel as pure nonetheless. Personally, I would recommend the Wii Virtual Console version, as holding it classic style with the Wii remote feels the best to me. It really just feels the easiest, the best, and the most simplistic. This way, it's fine. I picked it up and played it right away, but it just doesn't feel like the Sonic I'm accustomed to playing. I don't know. You guys, it may feel different for you, but that's just the impression I got after playing it. And aside from that, through the interface, it's pretty much the same Sonic we're used to. The emulation is perfect, except for one incy-weensy little thing. The graphics aren't as polished as they usually are. I mean, if you look at it, there seems to be a bit of distortion, and not to mention there's borders around the screen. Fortunately, because of the interface in which this game is released, you can adjust that after toggling through a couple of settings screens and such. But to me, it's just no matter how you do it, it just doesn't seem to be as crisp as it is on, say, the Virtual Console version. It's still a passable version, and all these complaints are very, very minor, but it's just stuff I bring up, because what else can I bring up on a game I've reviewed this many times? Nonetheless, solid game, and, hell, like always, 8.5 out of 10.